In this video, we'll be exploring 5 books that every ambitious person should read. They are underrated books. Some of them you probably have never heard about, and these are tools to propel you in your life and to achieve the dreams that you want to achieve. Let's dive into it. The first book you should read is The Art of Seduction by American author Robert Greene. This is somewhat of a controversial book, but I think it's an important book to read. There's a lot of rich psychology in this book, and you have to remember that people like to be seduced. That doesn't mean that you have to engage in sexual relations with every person, but it is an important tool to be well liked, to have rich conversations with people. They have to have some sort of positive image of you, and part of this is this seductive element that is always a part of any conversation that you have with people, whether it's with business partners, colleagues, customers, your loved ones, friends, etc. The second book I think you should read is called Collected Maxims and Other Reflections by Rochefoucauld. Now, this is written by a French nobleman that lived during the 17th century. This is also packed with brilliant insights and psychological truths about all sorts of things, and it's an incredible library of sort of wise maxims that you would certainly benefit from if you are trying to achieve certainly material success in your life. He is a very interesting author because he is in many ways amoral. His writings are just supposed to be poignant. They're supposed to be true and sort of break this, what would you say? It's supposed to break through this like ethical considerations that one should normally have in everyday life, and it's just about getting to the truth of the matter, no matter how unsavory it seems. It's a very interesting book, and he was an influence on many of the prominent people that we know today, like Nietzsche, for example, and it's a rather unappreciated person, so I recommend that you check out this book. The next book I recommend is by a psychoanalyst called Erich Fromm. It's called The Art of Listening. Obviously, being able to listen is an invaluable skill in your life. As an ambitious person, you need to be able to communicate well, but you also need to be able to understand and listen remarkably well. A lot of issues stem from the fact that people are not really listening to what other people are saying. And this is a skill that you need to develop. Also, just as a general rule, if you want to have better quality relationships on a personal level, but certainly also professionally, it's an absolutely crucial thing to learn to do. And I think this is a wonderful tool to get there. And the next book that you should read is The Picture of Dorian Gray by Oscar Wilde. I thought I had to include a fictional book as well. And this is a brilliant novel. For superficial reasons, it might be good to read some great literature, so you have something interesting to talk about if you're at cocktail parties, etc. But on a more serious note, I think this is an important lesson to take with you because your actions, in some sense, you carry with you, and they can destroy you. And this is an important thing to remember as you go through life, is that your actions, even though on one level they seem to be propelling you forward, they might be tainting another part of you that you probably want to be very careful about, and you want to tend to and make sure that it is in good order. And that would be your own heart, your soul, whatever you want to call that. And I think this is an important story that highlights some of the negative aspects that debauchery and immoral behavior can lead to. And talking about this book also reminds me of a saying by the world-renowned investor Warren Buffett. And as we're talking about ambition in this case, your reputation is the most valuable asset that you have. And to act accordingly and to act in a manner where your reputation will be in good standing is very important. I remember he said at some, they held these annual conferences where the investors could come and ask questions. And he said, if you, as a manager for a company, if you lose money as a manager, doesn't matter, not a problem. But if you lead to the, loss of reputation for the company, he'd be ruthless. And I think this is a general rule that should be applied also to the individual level when we're talking about ambition. It's incredibly important to act in a manner where your reputation is sort of kept intact and that you behave in a good manner. Otherwise, people are not going to be interested in mingling with you, in doing business with you, interacting with you. And the last book I recommend that you read is called Philosophy as a Way of Life by Pierre Hadot. He was a French philosopher, an expert on Roman and Hellenistic thought, and I think that having a solid foundation that you move from is an important aspect of being successful in your ambitious endeavors. And I think having some sort of philosophy and ideas about your own philosophical foundations is a very healthy place to move from, so you are confident in your way of being in the world. And I think learning about philosophy, and particularly ancient philosophy, which is very practical, can be incredibly helpful. So these are the books that I would recommend to every ambitious person out there. Let me know what you think below. And if you have any other great suggestions, I'd love to hear them.